Cowboys in 2025. The list sees the likes of 3 QBs and Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson in the top 5. All right, Mad Dog, I'm focused on you. Is Lamar Jackson a top 5 player right now?
Well, first off, I don't like lists in baseball or football where you put the quarterback with the player or the pitcher with the everyday player. That's the first, because it's almost 2 separate categories. That's the first. In the world could you put Lamar over Joe Burrow when Joe Burrow won a championship playoff game in Kansas City? Jackson's never done that. How in the world can you do that? And, you know, speaking of some play, where is T.J. Watt on this list? You telling me T.J. Watt is not a top 10 player? Where the heck is he? How about, I mean, I don't know. Where's Max Crosby on this list? You can't put Jackson 4. Burrow, Allen, and Mahomes. If you want to put the quarterback with the player, which I would never do, but if you want to do that, you have to go Burrow, not in any particular order, Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, 1, 2, 3. That's all there is to it. 1, 2, 3. Then you want to put Garrett 4. You want to maneuver. But you can't put Lamar Jackson ahead of Burrow, who's won a championship game in Kansas City. Jackson's never done that. That's ridiculous.
Well, first of all, a couple of things. Number one, you're wrong, but what else is new? Number two, I will say this. When you bring up T.J. Watt, I would put T.J. Watt ahead of Micah Parsons. Right now, at this particular point, Micah Parsons is coming, make no mistake about it. But T.J. Watt is something special to behold. Make no mistake about that. So I'd have to put him up there on that list as well. Number 3, yes, you can put Lamar Jackson ahead of Burrow. Now, Burrow did win a championship game in Kansas City, an AFC championship game. I get that part, but he's not a 2-time league MVP. He wasn't in line to be a 3-time league MVP. Lamar, there are 17 games in the regular season to play before the playoffs. And when you take into account what we have seen Lamar Jackson do over the course of the last several years, there have been injuries that have plagued Burrow as well. So we got to take that into consideration. Lamar Jackson hasn't had that ailment. So he's available. And when he's available, he's usually spectacular. Because of that, you can make that argument. You can't look at the National Football League and tell me there are 5 players better than Lamar Jackson. Now, they may have better moments, like in the postseason, like Doggy just talked about. No argument there. No argument there. But overall, in totality, when you look at what somebody brings to the table, you can't say 5 dudes are better than Lamar Jackson. No way.
You know what? I'm disappointed in Doggy because I'm old enough to remember a time last season when Mad Dog actually called Lamar Jackson the greatest QB we've ever seen.
Kimberly, I remember that.
And suddenly now he can't imagine a top 5 list.
Selective amnesia.
Interesting. Kimberly, thank you for reminding me of that. I also remember that. Thank you for bringing that to the forefront of my mind.
Why are you looking at Kimberly? Look at Doggy.
Wait, Mad Dog, I just have one question for you. One of the most comprehensive stats for a quarterback is QBR. So who was first in total QBR last season?
I'm sure it was Lamar to make
What about, I have another question for you. What about yards per attempt, rushing yards, TD to interception ratio? Who was first in those categories?
Molly, you can go on and on and on. Here's the bottom line.
Lamar.
Quarterbacks like old-time centers. Stevie recognizes the centers, Kareem, Wilt, people like that. Russell. Quarterbacks are measured by titles, by playoff wins.
Not all.
I'm not interested in the regular season. Win postseason games.
Okay,
Lamar's not.
Stop.
That's all like we see.
Stop, Doggy. Stop, Doggy. Did that apply to Dan Marino?
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on.
Marino went to a Super Bowl.
Hold on, wait a minute. You just said they measure by titles. You didn't say title appearances. You said titles. Okay, so Dan Marino was measured that way before Elway won his 2 when you were on the radio bloviating over WFAN in New York City and the world heard you and Mike and Mike Francesa. You were talking about Elway before the titles in terms of how great he was. Before Peyton Manning won in 06, okay, against Chicago, you were talking about how great he was. There's Dan Fouts with the Chargers, how elite he was. There's plenty of quarterbacks that have been celebrated throughout the years for their greatness, devoid of a title. But suddenly that's going to apply to Lamar Jackson now.
Well, forget titles, Steve. How about a good playoff game? How about we go into a playoff game where Lamar Jackson plays a sort of game like Burrow played against the
Okay, but you're bringing up one game, Doggy. I understand because I was at that game, so
By the way,
I
well
saw it.
Buffalo last year. Wasn't his fault they lost?
But you're talking about to win MVP. You're talking about season-long success, right? I understand, but you're bringing up one game for Burrow. Other than that, They haven't been. They barely get to the playoffs. They miss the play. The Bengals miss the playoffs constantly. We're always talking about how this team is too talented to not be a sure Super Bowl contender, and we haven't seen Joe Burrow back in the Super Bowl since. So I don't know, Doggy. I'm
That's
just a
fair.
little disappointed.
You do know.
Well,
You do know.
well,
Wait, can
remember,
I ask you one? Hold on.
remember,
Can I just ask one question? Hold on, Green Eyes. All right, I like the sport coat. At least that looks nice, and the tan is just something special. Mad Dog, the thing that I want to ask you though, especially with Lamar Jackson here, and I'm losing my train of thought on what I just wanted to say to you, and so I'm blanking. Give me
It's
a second.
okay. It's okay.
Give me a second. I just had a.
Because his words
Oh,
salad
that's what I want to say. That's what I want to say to you, Mad Dog. How do you do a 180 from Kimberly's point of what changed from last year when he was the greatest quarterback you've ever seen to now he's not a top flight? I'm just curious. Why'd you flip?
You took me seriously when I said that
Oh,
last year.
Doggy.
You didn't take that as
That's
serious.
embarrassing.
Now we're wrong.
Wow.
We're wrong for taking you seriously when you seriously made a point. Do you realize what you're
Whoever
saying?
takes me seriously. Whoever takes me seriously. I mean, come on. And by the way, Steve, that steak stunk the other night at freaking in L.A.
At Mastro's?
Lousy dinner.
Oh, that's
Lousy dinner.
That's a lie. That's a phenomenal
It's a
restaurant.
phenomenal restaurant. He had a blast.
Great service.
He ate like a pig. You
He's
know he's
delivering
lying.
a lot of bad
You
things
know he's
today.
lying.
What's
Mastro's
going on?
in Beverly Hills is fantastic.
It is.
I love that place.
Kimberly.
Why are we using the photo, guys? I was very shocked that day.
Would Kmart be shocked? That's the name of the feature. Here we go.
Yes.
If I said Matthew Stafford, who we've had all these questions about his back and everything all this time, if I said he is going to light up the Texans week 1, would Kmart be shocked?
Greeny, I actually would not be shocked as long as he stays away from Derek Stingley Jr. I do think Matthew Stafford will want to show that the back is not an issue. I might be concerned with it, but I think they're going to come out looking to test this defense. And particularly, you got Devontae Adams there now and Puka Nacua. I think they'll be good.
Dominique, Rams, Super Bowl contender, yay or nay?
Yeah, I'm high on the Rams, but I'm really concerned. It's a little early in the season to be having a quarterback with injury issues. The idea that Matthew Stafford is going to go through the whole season healthy and be in tip-top condition for the playoffs is scary to me.
All right, I want to save time for this one. Let me jump to the next one because this is the most interesting topic of conversation for me. Kmart, let's get to Travis Hunter is the next one.
Yes.
Would Kmart be shocked if Travis Hunter starts at both wide receiver and corner week 1 against Carolina?
All right. I would not be shocked, but I don't like it. I think because they moved up to get him, they gave up a lot of draft capital and moved up to get this pick to select him. And I think this is an organization that has been bereft of playmakers, and they've got Trevor Lawrence. Listen, we are waiting for Trevor Lawrence to ascend into that upper echelon of QB play. I think they need him on both sides of the ball, but I just worry about injury with him.
So here's the part of this that I find, he got hurt already, right? He had an upper body injury. He missed some games in the preseason. They said he could have played the last one if it had been a regular season game. But here's the thing. I'm hearing too many people say, well, they traded up in the first round. They traded next year's number 1. It will have been a mistake. It will have been a waste of the pick, or however you want to put it, if he doesn't play both ways. And I keep thinking to myself, that's a terrible reason to make this decision. Do you feel as though there is that sort of pressure for them to play him on both sides of the ball because of the compensation they gave up to get him?
I think when it comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars, did you trade up for Travis Hunter to play both ways? If that's why you traded up, then yes. You have to play them both ways. Because let's think about this. The Jacksonville Jaguars secondary wasn't good last season.
Right.
They were horrible. So you're basically saying we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We're going to get a guy that can make sure Trevor Lawrence is right, but then we're going to get a guy that can go to the defensive side of the ball and intercept the football, cause takeaways, and give us more possessions.
Look, so Lewis, it's basically they're saying we're going to have a 54-man roster. Everyone else has a 53. But we've got one guy who is 2 players at the same time. I continue to ask the question, is that a possibility? Can that really be over the course of an NFL season?
No, he's not going to be able to play 100-plus snaps.
Bye.